Hey, what's up guys? It's Jess. Welcome back to my channel. I look a little not my best, to say the least, but I figured I need to keep it rolling with the content because guess who just hit 300 subscribers today? I did. So this is what I look like today. Okay, we're gonna accept it, and then we're gonna move on with the video. Today, I'm going to be ranking all of the classes I've taken so far at the University of Washington. Autumn 2019, I took 4 classes for a total of 17 credits. First, we'll start off with Gen Studies 199, which if you don't know what that is, it's your FIG course. This is a credit, no credit course that you're probably taking, 1, because your advisor told you to, or 2, you wouldn't be able to sign up for your other classes if you also didn't sign up for this one. I really enjoyed my experience in the FIG class I took. Other people have different experiences. I think it's worth it to take a FIG because it's that one class where you can just chill out and not have to worry about these super hard classes that you're taking your first quarter. It just gives you the opportunity to learn more about the school, learn more about your classmates, even learn more about yourself. They also have this really cool final assignment called the Core Project where they put you in a random group when you have to go with them to a different location in Washington. Honestly, doing that project with my group was one of the most memorable experiences from my freshman year. I can go on and on about the FIG program, so if you guys want to hear more of an in-depth explanation about what it's like, I'd be happy to post a separate video on it. Next, we are moving on to Physics 121. I cannot tell you how many times people ask me this. Jessica, aren't you a physics major? Shouldn't you be good at this? Shouldn't you like physics? So yes, I am a physics major, but I will say that the introductory courses were not my cup of tea. I took AP Physics and AP Physics C in high school, and yet I still struggled in these physics prereq courses. This course is 5 credits, and it definitely does feel like it. You constantly have to go to the lectures for in-class quizzes, and when you're done with your lecture, you best believe you can't chill out because you gotta be finishing your mastering physics homework that's due that night. On top of that, I flipping despise physics quiz sections at the University of Washington. I have written how much I've despised these quiz sections in almost every single physics evaluation that I've done at the UW. In the physics prereq courses, they give you a tutorial packet. Each week you're assigned a certain section in the tutorial packet, and you spend the entire quiz section going over that week's material with your group. It is very, very independent other than, you working with your group. But if no one knows how to flipping do these problems, how the heck are we supposed to know how to do them for the exam? It just does not make sense. Most of the time, your TAs will not go over what's in the tutorial packet, so you don't even know if you got the answer right when you leave the quiz section. And not only that, there's usually no answer keys, so you can't even just check later to see if you did them right. Even worse, you're assigned an additional tutorial homework each week that is so flipping difficult. This tutorial homework is not like another class where you can just kind of complete it and then get full points. These tutorials are based on correctness, and yeah, you can get partial credit, but you kind of want to aim for 100% on almost all of them since they do play a large role in the homework portion of your grade. And also, some parts of the tutorial are going to be on the exam, which is so annoying because if you don't flipping know how to do the problems in the quiz section, how would you know how to do them for the exam? That doesn't make any sense. I could go on and on about how much I despise the tutorials. It's not even just in Physics 121. It's in multiple classes. I will say that Physics 121 wasn't that bad because of the prior knowledge I had taking AP Physics and AP Physics C. I will say if I didn't take those courses in high school, I probably would have found Physics 121 to be more challenging. I will also reiterate that I flipping despise the physics tutorials, and you're going to see them in Physics 121 and 122 and 123. In college, or at least at the University of Washington, your mentality shifts to, if I at least get the average on the exams, then I'm good. Which is so bad, because what if the average is like a 50%? Like, you still failed the exam, you just did as bad as everyone else. From what I remember, the first midterm was pretty easy for me. The second midterm was flipping hard. The first midterm was like a mid 70% average. The second midterm was like a low 50% average. During the second midterm, this one dude literally just got up from his seat 5 minutes into the exam, put it on the desk, and left. He never came back. One girl even started crying during the exam. I know a bunch of people that cried after the exam. Moving on to Math 124. A lot of people despise this course, and it's understandable why. In high school, I was always on the honors math track, and I ended up taking AP Calculus BC my senior year of high school. And because of all of that previous knowledge I had, I think that's a large part of why I did so well during the beginning part of Math 124. I was so close to getting 100% on the first midterm. I missed like 1 point. Based on what I heard from other people who didn't have that previous high school knowledge, they thought Math 124 was pretty difficult. I will say that the course definitely got more difficult as the quarter went on. I don't even think the exams were the worst part. I think the worst part was WebAssign. I am not the biggest fan of online homework platforms. Mastering Physics is not my favorite, but neither is WebAssign. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing this video. I'm having very vivid flashbacks right now. These WebAssign problems were so difficult. I cannot think of one WebAssign assignment where I didn't have to go to an academic resource to get some help. Yeah, I have so many bad memories with those WebAssign problems. I spent so much of my time in college just doing WebAssign. Just WebAssign. Anyway, Math 124 was not my favorite. Like I've mentioned in my previous videos, my professor was also not my favorite. Not to burst your already popped bubble, but I would say a good majority of majors at the UW require you to take Math 124. So good luck. Good luck. Lastly, we're ending off on a good note with ATMS 111. This course is global warming. If it's not first place, then it's at least in the top 3 of all my favorite classes I've taken in college thus far. There are just so many reasons why I loved this course. 1, the location. It was in Packer Hall, which is like my favorite building at UW. Number 2, the professor was so awesome. He made lectures super engaging. It was super clear to see what you needed to know for the exams. The professor also sang songs with his guitar at the end of lectures. That dude is amazing. He deserves like every faculty award for that department because he was a really good teacher. A lot of people equate more homework to learning more in that course. That is not true at all. That course barely had any homework, and I learned so much about global warming. I did better than the average on both midterms, and I got a 4.0 in the course. 5 out of 5 stars if we're ranking it on the stars category. I had Professor Frierson, by the way. Such a cool dude, great lecturer. Highly recommend you take that course, specifically with that professor. Next, we are getting into winter 2020, which was my second quarter at the UW. First, we'll start off with Math 125, and I would actually rather punch a brick wall than take this course again. I did not do super well in this course for multiple reasons. 1, WebAssigns were still there. 2, my professor was even worse than my Math 124 one. Like I mentioned in a previous video, I did not show up to this dude's lecture ever again after the first day. That's what's so annoying about school sometimes, because it's not even the material that's the most difficult, it's your teacher. Again, this is not every single course nor every single teacher, but this was just my experience. I did not do well in the midterms, and I didn't do well in the class because guess what? There was no flipping final to save my grade. There was no final because this was the start of COVID-19, and they decided, oh, you don't need a final to save your grade. You're just gonna have to deal with whatever you got in the first 2 midterms. If I have to give it a star, I guess I'm giving it a 1, but I don't think it even deserves that. Next, we are getting into Physics 122, and I had to take this lecture at 8:30 in the morning. Not only that, but the lectures were like 2 hours long. This class is electromagnetism, and I hate this topic in physics. I like the professor. I think he was pretty cool. He also showed some nice demos in class. I mean, the tutorials were still there. The labs were still there. It could have been worse, though. It definitely could have been worse. That's kind of all I have to say on the matter. If I'm going to rank it, I'll give it like a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Next is AAS 206, which is Contemporary Issues of Asian Americans. These lectures were super long, and it was right in the middle of the day, so not only did you feel super tired going into them, but you got progressively more tired as the class went on. Other than that, though, I really enjoyed the class. I loved the professor, loved the TAs, my classmates were super cool. We also had to do this group skit that we had to present in front of the whole class. In our skit, I played Tyler, the white frat boy. Someone in our class actually came up to me at the end of the skit to tell me he thought I was really funny, and his name was Tyler, and he was a white frat boy. I will say that the midterm was pretty difficult for other people. I did really well. Actually, I got an A. But I know the general vibe amongst the class was that everyone kind of failed it. So, regardless of how you do on the first test, the final exam could save your grade. And honestly, it's a pretty fun project. There's a bunch of other diversity classes out there. And honestly, they're probably all really great. I just happened to take this one, and I really, really enjoyed it. Next, we're moving on to spring 2020. And I took a... Oh, I thought someone subscribed, and I was like, what the heck is going on with their profile pic? Anyway, it was 18 credits. I took Gen Studies 470, so this was basically me prepping to be a FIG leader for the following fall quarter. This class was really nice because it was kind of like the de-stressor compared to every other class that quarter. The teacher for my section was Megan Coletta, and she's my favorite teacher at UW. She's not a professor at all, but she does happen to teach this course. She's just so amazing. She cares so much about students, and I really love the way she teaches her lectures. She does a lot with first-year programs, so even if you're not going to be a FIG leader, she's just a great person to talk to and to get to know. So yeah, highly recommend her. She's amazing. Next is Physics 123, and I flipping despise taking physics courses online. Honestly, it wasn't horrible, but taking a physics course online is not ideal. I hated doing the labs. I thought they were so boring. I thought the online format made it super difficult, and it definitely wasn't as engaging. I can't remember a single thing I learned from those online labs, which sucks because they were really trying. It's just, it didn't work for me. I probably would have really enjoyed this course if it was in person, but the online format just made it really challenging for me. Next is Math 126. Oh my gosh. I flipping loved this class, and I never say that about math courses at the UW, but this class was fun. Okay, maybe not fun, but it was definitely tolerable. I had Professor Lovelace for this class, and he is definitely one of the best math professors at the University of Washington. So if you have the chance to take any one of his classes that you need to for math, definitely take it with him. I think we had 4 or 5 tests that were weighted equally throughout the quarter. Anyway, I just like the way that a few topics are for one exam, a few topics for another exam. So that way, if you do bad on one, it's okay. You have 3 other exams to make up your grade. Next is English 121, which is composition on social issues. It didn't require too much effort. All you had to do was watch the lectures online, respond to a couple discussions, do a final portfolio, and there you go. You're probably going to need an English requirement, and if you do, English 121 is a good course to take. Next is summer 2020, and if you don't know already, UW is on the quarter system, so that means students get to take classes in the summer. Woo! A lot of students don't take a summer quarter, and you don't really have to. It doesn't set you behind or anything. Well, actually, it depends. As a double major in astronomy and physics, I'm kind of set up to take a summer quarter every single year from now on, so that's just kind of how it is. Anyway, I took Tagalog 134. This is a great class. Ate Kel, so amazing. Ate Kel is just this young, energetic, beautiful Filipino woman, and I flipping love her. I will say that I don't remember too much Tagalog from that course, but I don't think it was her fault at all. I think that was like all on me. Next is autumn 2020. Autumn 2020, I think, was the easiest quarter I've taken at UW. It was 16 credits, but more credits doesn't always mean more difficult, and less credits definitely does not mean less difficult. I continued with Tagalog to finish off my VLPA requirements. I got another 4.0 in this course. Again, it was pretty similar to 134. I really enjoyed it. Next is Astro 192, and if you are planning on being an astronomy major, take this course. I cannot recommend this course enough. First of all, you're taught by like a grad student. I had Nicole, flipping amazing. I also had Lupita, so amazing. I go to her office hours like all the time, even though I'm not in this class anymore. It is just such a helpful course if you're planning on majoring in astronomy. Plus, for the second half of the course, you get to do research with another grad student. Next is Gen Studies 470, and this is the FIG class that I got to teach. I definitely would have liked to teach this course in person. I definitely feel like the students would have gotten more out of it if it was in person, especially with the whole core project. But overall, I really liked the experience of facilitating a class on my own. It's kind of weird because I was a teacher and I wasn't even like an upperclassman. I was a sophomore and they were freshmen, so we were like the same age. But I think that also made me more relatable. Next is Physics 224, which is thermal physics. This class was only 3 credits and there were no tutorials, so I think that definitely helped me enjoy the class more. I got a 3.7, which I've never even gotten close in any of my other physics classes. And honestly, it was kind of difficult too. But in comparison to the other physics classes I've had to take, this one was pretty easy. Not to say that it was easy, I'm just saying that in comparison to all the extremely difficult ones, this one was less difficult. Next, we're ending off at winter 2021, and it's flipping so dark out. I did 1 credit of Astro 499, which is just undergraduate research. I highly recommend you get involved with undergraduate research as soon as possible at UW. There are so many opportunities for undergraduate research at UW, so honestly, just seek them out. Just email a professor and be like, hey, I love your work. Can we schedule a meeting? If you guys need help with that, let me know. I also did Physics 294, which is another 1 credit course that's mandatory if you're a physics major. Because of this course, I was able to secure another research position for this current quarter. Next is Ocean 102, and I didn't have to take this course at all. I just really love oceanography, and I would have probably been studying that if it weren't for astronomy and physics. This course says it's 5 credits, but honestly, it wasn't that much work. The exams are pretty straightforward. Honestly, as long as you do the assignments and then watch the lectures, like, you're good to go. You'll get a good grade in the class. Next is Math 307, and if I had to choose between getting my heart shattered again or taking this course again, it would be a tough decision. I wasn't too fond of the professor's lecturing style. Overall, this class was just mediocre in all aspects. I also didn't do extraordinarily well in this course either. I definitely was not the biggest fan of this course. Good luck though, because you're probably gonna have to take it. Next is ESS 102, which is space and space travel. I took this class for my writing credit, and I feel like it is one of the easier classes you can take to get that writing credit. Overall, I don't have super strong feelings towards this course. It's definitely geared towards more like non-STEM majors. The research paper was fine as well. I got 102% on it. Next is Medics 580, which is homelessness in Seattle, and I think this one is actually my favorite course I've taken at the UW. I recently became more interested in the issues facing the homeless population and became even more passionate about finding ways to solve these issues after taking this course. I had Lois and Charlotte teach this course, and they are so amazing. All of the lectures were super informative, and I really feel like I gained so much from this class. This class was credit, no credit, and there were no exams. There were only 2 assignments the whole entire quarter. I'm just gonna end the video off on a good note. That class is so amazing. So if you have the opportunity to take it at UW, I highly recommend. Anyway, that is the end of the video. It is so dark out. My eyes flipping hurt. I already missed half an hour of American Idol. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. If you guys have any questions about courses at UW or questions for me and my experience in these courses, feel free to leave that in the comment section down below. I'm gonna go because my eyes like actually really hurt. Anyway, peace out. That's not even my flipping catchphrase. Bye-bye.